tuning in to the American Investor Show. Welcome, and thank you for tuning in to the American Investor Show. Please click subscribe if this is your first time listening. From trader and CEO interviews to breaking news about companies you won't hear anywhere else, nobody does a better job at keeping you in the know when it comes to penny stocks. The term penny stock generally refers to a security issued by a very small company that trades at less than $5 per share. Penny stocks are extremely risky, yet they offer rates of return on investment not seen anywhere else. The host, guest, and callers are not registered financial advisors licensed by any government entity, and therefore, the following should be considered entertainment. The host, guest, and callers disclaim all liability in the event any information, commentary, analysis, opinions, advice, and/or recommendations prove to be inaccurate, incomplete, or unreliable, or result in any investment losses. Before investing in penny stocks, you should consult a professional to determine what strategy may be best for your individual needs. Now, without further ado, your host, Lascelles Anungu.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, what's up? I hope you guys enjoyed your weekend. The market is back, ladies and gentlemen. I have life again. I enjoyed spending time with the family this weekend. Had my daughter this weekend, so that was fun. But back at it, man. I'm trying to make some cash for the week. Again, the small caps just continue to. You got a few things out there running. I see some people already in the chat room. What's going on, guys? Shout out to Mugman, Highway the Walk, Kenneth Rosenberg, Job Warrior, Cool Cats, Bad Scientist. What's up, man? Bruce Cole, hello. Yes, indeed. Michael B. Stan the Man. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me back here. Those of you guys watching now and in the future. Besides oil prices going nuts and the Saudis who are putting together a plan here to wrap up their idea for Aramco to go public, which, by the way, guys, that's their little oil thing that they're putting together. It's like a $2 trillion company. They want to go public. Because they realize what most people who have any kind of sense realize, because we are in the last generation of oil, and they're trying to cash out while they still have time to do so. So if we look at oil prices, they've done a good job of manipulating oil lately. Now at $54, I mean, $54 oil was almost unthinkable coming out of this summer, as we saw as low as the 42s, $43, $44 oil. And what a change of events from July. I mean, what a change of events from July. We're up almost $10 a barrel in crude oil prices. So the Saudis, along with their OPEC partners, they put it together, and to get oil as high as $60 is what they're talking about. I've already, heard on CNBC, everybody's talking go long some of these small oil plays. You can also go large cap, Exxon, and a couple others. But that's the idea. They're looking for $60 a barrel oil. Will they get there? Who knows? We are at breakout prices. We are at short-term breakout prices. Obviously, you still have that hump back there at 60.03. Are you going to break that April 2015 high? I don't know. But that's what they're looking for. What's going on, Corley? We were just talking last week about that lighting contract down in Puerto Rico, and sure enough, they ended up getting it canceled. So hopefully they bring in, I don't know, somebody who can really get it done. I don't know what the power company down there in Florida is, or North Carolina. We got Duke Energy. They can get it done. I mean, just bring somebody who can get it done. Yes, indeed. Nightcrawler Studios. Appreciate it, man. DPG. Pro Woman J. Oil is old school. Tech is the way to wealth. Absolutely. So, the Saudis know what's up. They're looking to cash out. That's all they're trying to do. They know very well that I don't care how high this thing opens up. Tech is the future. And they're looking, to basically screw the international investor, the American investor, and walk away with what could be trillions of dollars. trillions of dollars. And they're going to use that to do what? Invest in solar, wind power. I mean, the Saudis could have been on that solar shit 40, 50 years ago. You know, there's no excuse for them to be behind on solar energy right now. But they're looking for the cash to do it. They're looking for the cash to do it. And they're going to get it because that's just how it works. Kenneth Rosenberg, you said HMNY, I must be rich now? Got out of that, sir. It was so expensive, man. The margin borrow rates were incredibly high on HMNY. You couldn't really stay in it for too long. Got out of that in like 23 to like 17 or something like that. So I'm nowhere near riding this lower. 646. Oh, I just missed you, Ken. It only rang like 2 times. Call me back, Ken. I guess I'll catch you earlier. The contract should have been because it was bogus. No birds. Yeah, oh, absolutely. It was a disaster, Corley. Disaster contract. 646, you're on the air. What's up?
Hey, it's Ken. How's it going?
Doing good, Ken. How was your day today?
Busy. I work. I do IT work and work out in the field. But today I had to lend a hand to the service desk at my company. So
Okay.
imagine taking like 50 calls in 8 hours. I'm fried.
Wow.
Couldn't really follow stocks.
I hear
Yeah,
you.
you do what you got to do. But I wanted to mention to you the BYOC. I know I've talked about that one a number of times, but it did close at a new high today. Take a look at the chart.
Mm-hmm.
Volume came in. I think it looks good, and we're waiting on filings. That's going to be the next catalyst to take this to 5-6 cents in the next couple of weeks. I think.
Okay, now what kind of filings are we waiting for? What are we looking to hear?
The financials the last quarter. That's what I'm hearing.
Okay.
So it's a good chart.
Okay. All right. Yeah, look very healthy looking, decent volume. I don't see what the volume was today, but I mean, other than that, it was a great day.
5.6.
20% gain.
Yeah.
Today. Not bad. Not bad.
Because last week or so, I was getting worried. The MACD was going negative, and you know, I watch the little things like that closely with penny stocks. You just got to get out.
Yeah, absolutely.
So but it's now it's turning, so that's good. And I wanted to bring up the case study. It was JZ, the Dole, DOLV, which is now JBZY. Good. That stock's gone from 16 cents down to 6 cents in 3 days.
I don't know what happened there. It didn't move like this when it was DOLV, but I mean, this is ugly. I mean, this is a disaster. Thank you so much, Legendary 8s. I see you in the chat room. I appreciate that donation. JBZY, horrible ticker. I don't even know why they decided to do that. I mean, but down 25% today, man. That's that gets people angry and not wanting to play, this game anymore. And that's a horrible thing,
Yeah, it is pretty rotten. Yeah. But that's it, really. That's it for tonight. I need sleep, but I wanted to call in, say hello, and keep up the great work.
Thank you, Ken. I appreciate it, bro.
All right. Have a nice evening.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, Ken, for the call. But here's the thing on that, man. He knows, and I know that's going to rebound, okay? That's a dip buy opportunity if you like the story behind the company. Things about OTCs is that you do have people on the sidelines who are just waiting for moments like this to come in and say, okay, let me get some cheap shares and see what might happen, because they'll put in capital where they're willing to risk. I mean, again, this is investing, right? So we're spending money that we don't mind going to zero. And you're going to have guys, get into that tomorrow. And you'll probably find a green day tomorrow on that. You'd be surprised. I mean, obviously, 4 horrible days. I include 5 based on that shadow from, that one day where you left a lot of people up there at 10 cents. But you'll find some dip buyers in there today, or tomorrow, rather. Al Numian, appreciate it. Thank you. And again, Legendary 8s, appreciate it, man. So the Saudis tricking off trinkets instead of building a real economy. Absolutely, man. The Saudis, look, I've been reading into those Saudi guys. There's some sick people, man. There's some sick people. And I'm not talking about the people of Saudi Arabia. I'm talking about like the princes and stuff like that. And their little, peons around them that are their yes men. They're pretty sick, man. They're pretty sick dudes. back to these charts. We saw Macy's today. Macy's along with JCPenney sell off really aggressively. JCPenney, one stock that I said a while ago. Now, if you don't know anything about shorting, this is probably the one for you. It's been a guaranteed short for months and months and months at a time. But JCPenney now, they're talking about a $1.25 price target on JCPenney. Now at $2.87. This is incredible because I remember going to JCPenney as a kid. Now we're looking at JCPenney never existing within the next 5 or 10 years, maybe shorter than that. 661, you're on the air. What's up?
What's up, man? I was just checking in. I wanted to know if you're still thinking positively long-term about FPVD.
No, absolutely not. I mean, that's just one of these things where it's like, where are we at now? We're down with 40% from .0090. So I'm not feeling that at all. Here's the thing though, as soon as now that I'm like, oh fuck it, it's over, blah blah blah, then you'll see it get pumped. But at this point, no, I don't like FPVMD at all. I hate it.
For sure. At what point did you decide that you didn't like it anymore? Like, what did you see in it that you didn't like?
Yeah, we talked about it on Thursday at 75 or something like that. We didn't like it. I mean, the stock's down what we felt like was a floor, which was the 0090, and now we're going even lower than that. And it's like we can't get people to commit to hold. Once we do move, we ended up, people dump. So it's just like, fuck it. Take your little money and do something else.
For sure. All right, cool. Thanks, man.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, look, when don't stay in a losing trade. If shit don't work, fuck it. Sell it. Fuck it, sell it. Let me see here. What else was let me see here. What was hot last week that we talked about? I'm trying to figure out. 1 second, guys. God, none of the tickers that were popping last week, they're all down. Hold on, man. WTI, yeah, we talked about WTI, at this crude conversation we just had. That follows all into that. WTI should catch up with that. It's actually one of the more volatile ones. So I'm actually kind of surprised that WTI hasn't made the move. But even this September move was pretty delayed too, right? Even that September move was pretty delayed on that one. Yeah, the Saudi royal family, those guys are, again, I don't want to, keep beating up on them. But, a lot of those guys have like 10 wives and like 38 kids. That's just like one of them. You know what I mean? They're all about just going crazy, man. Clavon, did I make a video about them being a scam? Yeah, at 124, I think it was a scam. Absolutely. At $1.24, which is where they used to trade at, it was a complete scam. But at 0090, I felt like there was an opportunity to ride it back into, either 2 or 3, maybe even going to as high as a nickel a share, maybe even 7 cents, but it just never took off. Yeah, tomorrow we got Under Armour. Under Armour is tomorrow. Google is Wednesday. Facebook is Wednesday. You got a couple plays. If you've been following my Twitter, I'm all on Snap, Twitter right now. Finally, Buffalo Wild Wings, man, which was going against me, now cooling off. So we're going to be enjoying that riding back, thankfully, right at the 120s. I called the 120s, go on my Twitter, called the 120s. So 120 Buffalo Wild Wings. Not too much volume on that one, so don't go huge on it. And I don't like it when guys go really big on the contracts to begin with. Just a couple here and there because, it's like trading penny stocks, right? You're making on the percentage moves higher or lower. So thankfully, Buffalo Wild Wings, which was going against me now, right back sitting on top of the money there on 120 Buffalo Wild Wings. Canopy growth going to be a power. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of people talk about Canopy growth, man. What's going on, Terry Cherry? What time is showtime? It's 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sometimes I'm early, sometimes I'm late. But that's why I like to start. Good 1.5 hour show. Get you guys out of here by 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. Yeah, Canopy Growth. Canopy Growth is setting up like one of the companies that's going to be the last thing, to be around when we talk about these marijuana plays. 919, I think this is Bad Scientist. What's up, man?
Good evening, Sal. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Loving some of the plays that I've been in over the last week. Chesapeake, I'm really excited about that because that one came down for a $3.50 support and it's on its way back up. I'm hoping to keep that one until about the 440s, but I might just sell it, just after it crosses $4. But looking really, really, good on Chesapeake. So that one I'm really happy about. Last week I mentioned public offering plays. One of my other picks was actually, it's doing pretty well, and that's IDRA. So I think last week, middle of last week or thereabouts, they came out with a public offering, which normally a public offering, the stock is offered for a second offering, kind of like a second IPO, but for an already listed stock. And they came out with a pricing of $1.50. So once again, you could have played that bounce on IDRA. And I found out tonight that Baker Brothers, which is a huge, institutional investor, hedge fund, whatever it is, that they've bought 8 million shares of IDRA at $1.50. So remember I mentioned, for people who want to trade, or more aptly for people who want to swing trade, you need to be able to swing or trade like a hedge fund manager, and that's exactly what the hedge funds do. They wait for valuable stocks to have an offering, and while everyone else is chasing them, day trading them, they just wait for that price to come out for that offering, and they swoop in and get it for a steal. So we should see this one going up because, you do get that offering bounce that I talked about. Sometimes it may go under the offer price, like I think we saw that on QURE. But all you have to do is even just wait for the bullish reversal, and you can use candlesticks for that, or just use the list price. And just wait for it to accelerate through that price and pick it up at the offer price. That way you're getting it at a good deal. So really happy about that too. And then, I'm just, putting my scanners on for new public offerings. I guess today they had one for PSTI. And initially I think the offering was at $1.61, but it was increased to, I think, $1.67 or $1.68. So this one is pretty much near at the offering price. What you just need to do is wait for the reversal on this and get in as it reverses. Okay. So it may continue to fall, but once again, if it continues to fall, just keep an eye on it, and once you see a sign of reversal, you can get back in.
There it is. Thank you so much.
And then just one more pick that I have that looks really, really good on the charts. ADXS. And this one has a lovely bullish reversal.
Oh yeah! I love the way this chart is setting up. Decent volume. Yeah. I think you'll get to 1 million, especially if at these levels. We'll see how it looks tomorrow too.
Absolutely. So this one I'm looking to get into for continuation. Today was actually the confirmation of Friday. But, once again, sometimes you want to wait for that more confirmation. And it's right on the 8 exponential average that it closed at today. Plus, it's coming off the lower Bollinger Band if you plot Bollinger Bands in there. So I would say buying it through about 343. It's currently at 340. So as it passes 343, I wouldn't hesitate to get into that one. And then finally, OTCs, I'm just looking at the one that I've been looking at. There are obviously a few, but BLDV.
Okay, BLDV, Blue Diamond Ventures. All right,
Correct.
so nice day today on that oversold opening today.
Yeah, so I'm in that one and, hoping to get, more continuation on that. The volume was very impressive. Of course, you have so many people touting HTIL, but for me, I'm looking at BLDV. I think we should see, a couple more days of upside to that one. And that's all I have for you today, Sal. Thanks a lot.
There it is. Bats, also, if you can give me, take a look at a company like Sprint and what that did today. And tell me what your indicators say on that. Sprint today fell off the roof there, down almost 10% today.
I see that.
On what some people are now saying was a false rumor. So is this a buying opportunity, or do people sit back and continue to wait for more information to come out? Let me know on that.
For Sprint, yeah, so this is where the what's the word? The contrarian investor or trader comes in. Sprint, like AMD has been falling hard.
Yeah.
It's a buy opportunity. I say buy. Especially if for those of you who do options, it's safer right now to just get a call option for some later time. But we should see some reversal coming on Sprint. So there's the one part where you just look at the chart and say it's down, it's on a downtrend. But remember the stock that you're dealing with. So remember how the stock trades, and sometimes it's just not enough to just look at the chart and say, well, that's bearish, it's coming down. This one, I would actually be cautiously bullish on this one.
Yeah.
And we will see what it does tomorrow, but you're absolutely right. For something like Sprint, this is actually a buying opportunity. And for most investors, they say that, when everyone's running for the hills, the best time to buy in is when there's blood on the street, and there's certainly blood on the street here. But because it's Sprint, this is something you need to look for going, going in a bullish manner. We'll see. I mean, tomorrow will confirm, but if you see that candle shortening, today obviously was a huge day because we had that long-range candle, which scares off a lot of people. Just see what happens to it tomorrow, and we should, I would be bullish on this, actually. And for swing traders, I would be bullish. Maybe not for day traders, but that's my honest opinion there.
Okay, excellent. Thank you so much, Bats. I appreciate it, bro.
Not a problem. Thank you, Sal. Keep up the good work.
Thank you, Bat Scientist, with that interesting analysis on Sprint. Yeah, I was just kind of curious on what that opportunity looks like for Sprint. Those of you guys who are living under a rock today, yeah, Sprint and T-Mobile today called off their merger, and both, Sprint, the only one that trades here on these major exchanges, just literally fell off the roof. SoftBank trades on several different exchanges. Got an OTC, very liquid stock that it has as a ticker. But Sprint just feeling the brunt of it all. I mean, down almost 10%, 9.3% today on Sprint. He talked about those options. Yeah, I do see those options available back January 19, 2018. $7 calls going for only $34. So the opportunity to control 100 shares of Sprint, giving you the opportunity to buy at $6 right now. Excuse me, $7 going for $34 right now. All right, $34, giving you almost 3 months, 90 days to be able to play into this turnaround. We'll see what happens. Sprint should retest 677 tomorrow. We'll see. Yeah, I think it's dirt cheap, and when we look at the weekly, right? Let's look at where we are on the weekly. We're not there yet, but we've got a support level just below us that could save us, even if we have some selling off tomorrow. Because as you can see, this is every day represents a week, and this being this week, so much of that action obviously representing today, what happened today. So we'll see that correct and hopefully pull back higher, and we'll see a longer wick on that at the end of the week. All right. Sprint. Let's take a look at your chart. ACHN, you say beautiful range for the year, easy money on ACHN. All right. You're saying easy money. Kind of funneling here. I mean, it's an up and down thing. So if you played that into it, then I'm guessing you're looking to get out in the 480s, 470s. That looks like that's just kind of what it's been doing here. Again, I'm just using history to judge what the future may look for it. So, hopefully you're going back to retest that high, and it's been a strong resistance point as the stock will get up to there and then eventually come right back down. So let's hope that that stock continues to follow that pattern, and yes, it's definitely going to be easy money for you. It's going to be easy money for you. All right. Nice move. Let's see what else you guys are looking at. AMPE. Yeah, overall, I mean, it was an okay day on the small caps. I mean, I wasn't impressed. I wasn't really impressed. We didn't see that big, huge runner that we're so used to seeing on a Monday. Last week was all about drives and tops to begin the week. Monday, Tuesday, going into Tuesday. This week we didn't get that. We didn't this morning we didn't really get that. So, but it is what it is. You're not going to get that all the time. AMPE up 14%. Today, brought in some volume today. That's a good thing. Brought in some volume today, but last couple of days actually looks like it's been a really dry stock before October. All the action coming here in the last 2 weeks in AMPE, as you can see here. Other than that, was pretty liquid. I don't like those candlesticks with those huge wicks on top. A lot of indecision. A lot of lack of commitment to those higher prices. Let me know what's going on there. You could finally got a day where you got some commitment today above the 120 level in AMPE. Let's see if you can build on that. Although you are warm, but not bad. I mean, you're only at what, 69? All right, 69 on that RSI. All right, it's not bad. It looks like you had a direct offering. Shout out to Bats. He just got off the phone talking to us about direct offerings. There looks like you had one back on October the 18th. Interestingly enough, around right here. So stock's up higher since then after some consolidation after the offering. Let's look at some other tickers here. GIGL. GIGL we talked about last week, and good to see GIGL continue to make progress here. Looks like we missed the opportunity though. Now stock should cool off here. Maybe in as soon as tomorrow's trade could be red for GIGL. I mean, huge day today, up 44%. I'll give you the ringer for that one. Look at the last couple of days in the stock. You're up actually almost 75% since October. What's that day? Is that October the 17th? So I'll give you that one. That's let me give you the cheer on that one. That's a good call right there on GIGL. Restaurant for the kids. GIGL looks like you're selling off. Would have loved that. Got you in there a little earlier. GIGL, nice play, up 44%. Let's look at some other ones that were developing. Oh, nope, I guess that's not it. Somebody talked about hemp, and I saw that the Marine Thayer, Jeff Thayer, bring that up. And hemp, yeah, hemp selling off like a bitch, man. That's horrible. I think this is Anthony calling. 251, what's up?
What's going on?
Oh, Anthony, call me back, bro. I don't know what happened. Anthony, call me back. I want to hear from you. I think you're gonna call me about NAK. I definitely want to hear from you, bro. I think that probably could have been me. So call me back. There you are.
Come on, man.
All right, Anthony, that's you?
Yeah, what's going on, sir?
Hey, what's up, man?
Nothing much, man. Still on the West Coast, man. Finna head back that way tomorrow.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
My cousin worked for this company. The ticker is CVO. I don't know if you heard of it. CVO.
All right, commercial printing services. No, I mean, they're taking a real hit lately.
Yeah.
What's going on at the company?
What she was telling me was if you look back where they was up, I think like $10, maybe $12 or up in there. They were supposed to do a merger, and the merger fell through. But she said they're gonna get ready to come out with their earnings, and they're still talking about doing a merger. So I was trying to run across anybody out there if they know anything about that company or anything like that. So I mean, I'm pretty sure it's gonna go back up to what it was.
Is she saying that
up there for a while?
The merger, meaning the merger with the original person it fell through with? Is that what he or she means?
Yeah. Something went wrong. It didn't go through or whatever. But the company that is buying them is RRD. That's the company that's supposed to be buying them.
Okay. RRD, all right. They're not doing that well, but they're definitely better off. Okay, RRD is buying that company. All right. When does she have an idea? You know, I know she's not. I don't know if she's management or not. But, but does she have an idea of when this could possibly be happening?
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll find out, and tomorrow, if it's not too late and I catch the show before I get back to the house, I'll call and let you know.
Yeah. Give us a call and let us know. I mean, and how sure this thing is. I mean, I know at the workplace there's a lot of talk and all that, but employees pretty much have a pretty good sense, pretty good accurate information, that gets leaked around offices. So now that it's public information, everybody knows about it. We can at least hear on this show anyway.
What she was telling me, she said, you have to buy like $100 in ours and $100 in theirs, but I didn't kind of see I don't know how would that work or what would be best, Yeah. Just buy shares in there because you probably if they do a buyout, it really wouldn't affect what their stock is.
Yeah.
So I would really have to buy companies RRD.
Yeah. And Anthony, give me that ticket one more time. The P number.
The CVO.
CVO. There we go. Sorry about that. Yeah.
CVO.
So CVO RRD. Okay. All right.
And RRD is the company that want to buy them.
Yeah. We'll keep an eye on. I mean, it's trading for $1.19. I mean, any kind of merger talk that would definitely send the stock flying. I mean, even if we look at the weekly, you can see it's really, really beat up, oversold here, even on the weekly. Yeah, I mean, this is definitely a company that needs saving. I mean, $12 million market cap coming off from, which was once, I'm looking here, it looks like it was once, adding in the reverse split, it looks like it was once a $20 stock. So this company once had a $300 or $400 million market cap. Now it's at $12 million. So huge losses over the last several weeks. So yeah, I think that's a company that needs saving, and the likelihood of a merger just makes so much sense for that.
Yeah, like I said, and that's why it's so low because of that. That I think what she told me it fell through, but I think she is in management.
Yeah.
So I'll find more out about it, and I'll give you a call back and let you know.
Appreciate it, Anthony. Thank you so much for the call, man.
All right, man.
All right. So Anthony with that call. Well, you guys heard it here first. If it does happen, you guys heard it here first on the American Investor Show. CVO, failed merger. Looks like earnings didn't come in so good back in August, too. figure out when earnings are for this year, or excuse me, for fourth quarter, because man, it's already oversold here. Even on the daily chart, we're looking at sub 20s on the RSI. I'm not predicting, just based on the chart alone, that they have a good fourth quarter as well. So I wouldn't jump in here because you probably see some losses. But let's get some clarification from Anthony in regards to when this could possibly happen. But I would watch it. I'd watch it now and see what happens. I'd watch it and see what happens. Nike oversold. Time to short. Well, you don't want to short an oversold stock. But Nike's one I've been watching. It's a play that I've been watching. Should have played it today, actually, on the calls on the put side, because I saw this was the opening today of Nike and fell and broke a trend that was developing, and there it is, the move on Nike today here for the 30th. I mean, wow, would have been a great opportunity for you to buy some puts into this, and you're looking at at least a 50. You wouldn't have probably have caught that first move, 10-cent loss, but you would have definitely caught the 59 cents or 55 cents down into these levels, and that would have been a nice little return for you. But yeah, I'd definitely look into possibly shorting again NKE or NKE Nike. Nike, by the way, guys, going to be consolidating their distribution channels. So you're going to start seeing them now move out of those retail department stores, that are kind of like not the bargain basement, but those kind of, hey, come get, 2 shoes for $50, those kind of retailers. Nike came out with something last week, which they basically said, we're going to start, putting our brand into kind of higher tier locations. So it's going to start getting a little bit harder to find Nike. And their idea is that the youth of today, they aren't in love with Nike as we were, in high school and middle school and whatnot. So they're looking to say, okay, well, for us to survive, we've got to become a premium brand, and that's the idea that Nike wants to go into the future. I think that hurts them in the near term, short term. So that stock, did pretty good this quarter. But they did show declining sales in their earnings statement, so that sells off here in the near future for Nike. But go on that daily chart and see where you are. I wouldn't hold one overnight until it breaks these levels here. So you got one trend starting all the way back here on October the 13th. So until you break, this line here, and you can set it up on your own on your computer. Set it up on your own. So I'm talking 54.21, 54.21, 54.82. I mean, until you break this trend, I'm not shorting and holding overnight. If you've got the time, of course, intraday trades, 50 cents here, 70 cents here, you can take advantage of on the downside. But an overnight, multiple day short, I'm not playing it until it breaks that trend that it started back on the 13th of this month. Okay? Yeah, and I'm watching that closely. I got an alert set on that, because if it breaks, then we're looking to retest $51, and then we could possibly break support on that. We'll see. OMVS. Let's go to that. OMVS on the move systems. Yeah, who's playing beyond average? What are you seeing on this one? This one has got a lot of people hoping on it, kind of very much like SPI, kind of like SPI. A lot of hope, a lot of tweeting, a lot of chat room movement and gossiping about SPI and all that. Okay, we'll see. We'll see on that. We'll see on that. I'm just gonna let it happen, but I'm not gonna play hold and hope. Hold and hope. CVO earnings, November 9th. Okay. Thank you, Legendary 8s. November 9th. By the way, November 9th is the same day Macy's reports. So for those people who want their first time in options, you buy some puts the day or two before that, you're definitely going to be in the money. I think Macy's earnings are going to be horrible. They're going to be horrible. More profitable than JCPenney, but they're not going to beat earnings. I think they'll probably underperform on that. That's also November the 9th. AMD, yeah. AMD selling off. What's my Twitter name? Free stock pick. Not plural. Free stock pick. Katisha Boyd. AMD getting AMD today on the morning they got what's the word for it? When an analyst comes out, downgraded. There we go. They got downgraded today. AMD. I saw that in the morning. They got downgraded. I can't remember the name of the investment bank, but they basically came out in their report and they said that all the hype about Bitcoin mining is pretty much, now that they've gotten all the numbers, the market is nowhere near as big enough to support AMD as a company, and that basically anybody who's thinking that AMD is going to be able to survive just on being the preferred chip of Bitcoin miners, it's a joke. It's basically a joke. If you don't know anything about Bitcoin mining, what you do need to know is that as more people mine, it literally becomes less valuable. Mining is something where there's only a set amount of coins out there, so for Bitcoin anyway. And once those are mined, or as much as those are mined, it becomes harder to find more, and it becomes less valuable of a business proposition to become a miner. So AMD selling off on that Bitcoin, horrible news on that market, that Bitcoin just not going to be the play for them. But here's the thing though, I wouldn't give up on AMD just yet. You guys remember they started off 2016 as a bankruptcy risk, right? At 2016 we were looking at a $2 stock. Everybody was like, is AMD going to even survive? Are they going to end up selling off to their rival Intel? But AMD is still here. This is in the short term, it's a falling knife, but figure out where the sell-off stops, and I think you possibly could get a $2 run in this. Let's look at the 30-minute. This chart is kind of pretty deceiving here on the 30-minute. As you can see, a probably possible ending, but you saw it on on Friday, where you said, oh, okay, well, this could be turning around going into next week, which was today, and then boom, you had that sell-off in the morning, and now setting up very similar to what it did on Friday. I'm not a believer just yet. I think you maybe have one or maybe even two more days of selling in AMD, but very, very disappointing for the people who are in it. But I think again, once it really does turn around, I think you can get another $2 or at least a $2 run in this. But bad news for AMD. I mean, now we're looking at possibly testing that 990 support going all the way back in May of this year. Which eventually ended up starting an incredible run into that $15 earnings in July. So, higher lows developing and held the trend very nicely into that beautiful earnings. Now here we see that selling off. We could retest it. And if we hold it tomorrow, then I probably would want to buy those lows and see what can transpire from there. All right. SPI. Look, I get the news. Juan Perez on SPI. The news that came out saying that this company had bought several million of their shares and whatnot. But we're not seeing that translate into buying activity that's moving the price higher. I mean, this stock put up 13 million shares and did nothing today. 13.8 million shares traded, and the stock did absolutely nothing on SPI. That's not good. That's not good. So, who's selling? Why are they, selling so aggressively that even increased volume? That's, in my opinion, probably buying momentum, not moving the shares because somebody's selling really aggressively. So pull up, the level 2, find out what's going on. Maybe dig a little deeper in this. Stock Twitter, find out what's going on. But right now, I'm seeing a lot of holding and hoping on SPI. But again, I wish everybody the best on it. I want everybody to win. So sure, if it launches tomorrow to 24 cents, man, that'd be huge. That'd be huge. But it's been a week and a half now. And that news came out. I mean, we go back. That news came out now 3 weeks ago. So, you know, how long are you going to continue to wait? Yeah. AGTK, we have not talked about that. AGTK, penny a share right now. All right, it looks like you're at support too. Not bad, AGTK. All right, it looks like you're at support here, AGTK. Decent volume here. Look at that, 6.5 million shares traded today. All right, AGTK. Internet services describe themselves as a financial company. Are they not? Okay, no, never mind. They're like marijuana. Okay, they're like a marijuana cannabis sector consultant company. Yeah. Looks like they have some issues down there in Puerto Rico, too. They have a cultivation and manufacturing facility in San Juan, Puerto Rico. All right, hopefully they got power over there. I know San Juan, the capital, they probably got power. But I know they're having trouble there in the outskirts. PZRZ, or PZRX, Katisha Boyd. Yeah, this is one I was following and then it just couldn't hold. Biotherapy, nice day today, up 5%. The volume just isn't there. Volume just isn't there. I mean, I think there's some better plays for you. I mean, look, the RSI 36, decent day today, up 5%. Let's see if you get more confirmation with that tomorrow, based on what happened there on Friday where you had that gap down open. Yeah, let's wait for bullish confirmation tomorrow on that. But you know, love to see more volume here on this play, but not very popular here. Not very popular with traders. All right, so you might want to look at the underlying story and seeing what else could be coming up in the short term that could drive volume into that play. And the price of those shares higher. Halitron Software, 500% gain. 000 lottery ticket got that number called today. You guys know we love those around here. 0001 stock now up 500%. That lottery ticket, as I said, the number got called today for HAON, up 500%. Nice. And actually held that pretty well. Look at the way it closed out today. At the very top, 2.1 billion shares bought up. And that's a very interesting close, man. I think let's see what you get out of that tomorrow. You know, we see a lot of 000s soar out of those levels and not be able to hold it. Why? Because guys are unloading those shares that they've been sitting on for months, sometimes even years at a time. But here we have a 000 stock that soars intraday and closes at the high. That's very, very rare. That's very rare, and that is a likelihood of a possible continuation tomorrow. Can you break that July 2017 high? We'll see on that. We'll see on that. But it wasn't as healthy of a move to that level. We just got, bam, one day, all that coming in on HAON. Yeah, we talked about AGTK. Looks healthy. Looks healthy at that support, Charlotte. Looks healthy at that support. BLDV. Let's look at more OTCs. BLDV. Yeah, Bat Scientist brought this one up, and he looked at that as a possible another green day tomorrow on BLDV, as it's more than likely piercing what he thinks could be more green territory for BLDV tomorrow. That was one of his plays. They got the license to sell MJ in Canada. Where does it say that? Oh, yes, it does. Okay. All right. Yeah, they said they'll build a state-of-the-art cultivation facility in Ontario, Canada. Canada, man, they're on it, man. When it comes to marijuana, Canada is on it, man. Those guys are on it. They're not playing politics. You know, they're like, hey, guys, let's get it done. They're creating jobs for their people, and then saying, let's see what we can do out of this. because they understand the tax revenue that can be generated from this industry. We're out here, pussyfooting around with this incredible product, because we got guys, again, who are living in the past, but that's what happens when you have, people in charge who just, aren't able to really think strategically, about possibilities, Yeah, you got career government employees in the House as well as the Senate who just don't see, can't see what the future looks like. Did I get out of that squeeze on Twitter? Hell no, Michael Beaton, absolutely not, sir. No, I'm holding Twitter. It went against me, but I talked about that earlier in the show. It went against me, but now we had a great day today, pulled back on Twitter. Look, Twitter right now has got a $16 billion market cap. Is Twitter a $16 billion company? I don't think so. The stock is up, well, prior to today's move, 25%. Is it worth 25% more than it was last week? I don't think so. So that's one, I don't have a huge position in it. But it's one that once it gets down to 2050 and I get back into the money, then it starts to really bang for me. So I'm looking just to get into that, 2050 area. So another $1.25 or so. Then great if it does. But I'm willing to hold it just because I have a long time frame on it. So it's no rush for me. Yeah. Hope BODV breaks 2 cents. We'll see. You get hit from the PDT rule from directly selling a stock from unsettled funds. We talked about the PDT rule. The PDT rule is just horrible, man. It's just a horrible rule. Forces guys to have to stretch their money out into different brokers, and now you're not working with the size you want. This is a horrible rule all around. What's going on, Mad Villain? What's going on, Felix? Let's see here. MJNA. I kind of forgot about MJNA. MJNA. Yeah, we kind of forgot about MJNA. All of those marijuana plays, CBIS, MJNA, MCOA, CVSI. CBIS, let's look at CVSI. All these marijuana plays just haven't really been getting it done. And it's really, you got guys who could say, well, now's the time to get in, right? Now's the time to get in. But, I don't know if they'll have a rally of what they used to have, until we get serious about marijuana again in this country. Because, it's moving. Don't get it twisted. We're moving, and we're a lot further off than where we were in 2014. But we need support from the federal government. We need support from the federal government. IMDZ, and that means making marijuana or taking marijuana out of that Schedule II and allowing these companies to have, the ability to go into major financial institutions and be able to get financing to support and grow this business. Because as long as marijuana stays Schedule II, it's not going to happen. No bank, no reputable financial institution is going to lend to some of these OTC companies, right, to help build their businesses. They're going to continue to have to go to untraditional financing sources that require them to give up shares that dilute shareholders, and it's a lose-lose. It's a lose-lose because it doesn't allow them to, to really grow, to grow profit, grow earnings for shareholders. All right. Ticker now, IMDZ on the chart. 2.5 million shares traded today, oversold. I don't know what happened here. Bio company, biotherapeutic play. Wow. Okay. I like what happened today, right? Up 12% from those lows. Strong dojis. That got confirmed with today's move. Slight gap up on that too. So IMDZ, I'd look for that tomorrow. I like the volume there, 2.5 million today. I like the catalyst. You're oversold here. Are the sellers out? Are the sellers out? I mean, it looks like that chart says that. So let's see if we get confirmation tomorrow in the morning on IMDZ. In the short term, looks like you have quite a bit of space up there on IMDZ. Oh, okay, another public offering bets. All right. Pro woman said, "Do I smoke? Not really. I mean, I'm not, the type of guy who's just gonna go smoke a blunt by himself and shit. So if it's, if I'm with a group of people, I'm not gonna pass. I'm gonna buy my own and smoke with you. But I'm not just gonna go buy a blunt and just smoke it by myself." ERBB, let's take a look at it. ERBB. Drug retailers, healthcare. Drug retailers, healthcare, ERBB. Nah, it hasn't done much. It's been a while since that's taken off. It's been a while since that's taken off. Yeah. Yeah, we definitely talked AMD, man. AMD falling knife on that one, man. Catch it, and I think you got at least $1 or $2 of gains if you catch the bottom of that. Look forward to that 990 support that it could test from May, either May or July, I think. Yeah. So let's see, what other stocks you guys looking at right now? Again, let's go talk about some stocks that fell off the roof today. Again, I brought up Sprint, very much like AMD, another stock that big name company, very well known, now oversold. We saw another stock, ODP, today, Office Depot. Office Depot today, that one literally collapsed. Office Depot. Here's the thing on Office Depot, too. I think their earnings is in a couple days. If not, was it today? Was earnings? I think it's, what is earnings on Office Depot? Is it tomorrow? Or Wednesday? I think it might be Wednesday with Facebook. You might want to look that up. In fact, let me look it up real quick. Office Depot. Man, Office Depot, again, here, these are all companies that, like I'm saying, 5 years from now may not exist, guys. Companies that, I remember growing up and filling out applications to work at these jobs, right? I mean, when you're in high school and whatnot, these are kind of the little jobs that you go out and look for, try to get something at Macy's or Office Depot or these little stores that, are willing to hire young people, and now they're going out of business. What happens to, young people when they try to find jobs now as retail starts to become more and more online? It's going to be interesting to see, where young people find jobs that get them prepared for the workforce. ODP, like I said today, down 20%. Yeah, November 9th is earnings for Office Depot. So next week, same day as Macy's. I'm looking forward to Macy's. I told you guys Snap. I'm all in on Snap. I posted that on Twitter. I'm all in on Snap. Either way, the way I've set up the trade, I'm either going to make up to 30 grand. Again, these are the extremes. I'm expecting like a $10 move, up or down. Because if it's up, it means, explosive data, then we get a huge move up. If it's horrible, then we get, again, explosive, sell off to where everybody's like, okay, I'm done with this shit. It's a wrap for Snap. So $10, and at those extremes, with the way I've set up the trade, I'm netting $30,000 on the long side, and on the short side could be as much as 50 grand on the downside. But I mean, again, that's the extremes. But I'm all in on Snap, right? Because I think that's going to be that's the play of the year, up or down. Well, not of the year, of the earnings season. How about that? ODP again. ODP. Soup Q. Oh my God! Don't be bringing up Soup Q. I mean, I haven't seen that ticker around here in quite a while. Down 7% on Soup Q. Netflix. Yeah, Netflix I was kind of disappointed with Netflix. I thought Netflix would do a little bit more on that earnings announcement, but I guess, I mean, look, it's had an incredible year, so I'm not surprised it didn't do what Google did, where it gapped up almost $20, or Amazon did, gapped up almost $20 into 1,100. By the way, Amazon I think sold off today, right? Oh hell no, Amazon. Okay, shit. Amazon, all right. Do you think Amazon? Yeah, too expensive for me. Too expensive for me. But Netflix, yeah, still looking pretty good up there. TMUS, T-Mobile. Yeah, we talked about T-Mobile. That's selling off on T-Mobile. Look, at the end of the day, both of those companies need each other, T-Mobile and Sprint. They got to make it happen. T-Mobile's got to buy Sprint. It makes sense for them. It's going to happen. It's just, this is the third time. They thought the third time would be a charm. This is another time they broke it off. So, look, at the end of the day, they need each other. It's going to happen, but it's just, unfortunately, today's not the day for them. Yeah, Verizon's selling off today. Look, you had the federal government come out today and say, some congressmen come out and say that they're working into a plan on the tax bill that's going to allow a 5-year kind of like setup for the tax rate. So that's horrible. That's horrible for I think you're going to sell off if that's the kind of bill that's coming to the table for our congressmen to vote on. Do I want the tax bill? No, I'm clear. I'm against it 100%, because I think if you cut taxes but you're not willing to cut spending, you're losing, and it hurts our kids. But with that being said, it's a horrible tax plan from what I've heard, and that triggered the sell-off midday. If you saw that, there was a midday sell-off in a lot of these plays based on that news that came out. In fact, if we look at, let's look at the 5-minute, you can literally see it in the chart where the morning was setting up really nice, and you had that report come out of Washington about what they plan on doing with the tax plan, right? I'm thinking like, okay, we're going to get a breakout on these industrials going higher, possible retest. That came out, and the market didn't like it. We also saw the small caps, which are going to be the biggest loser if we don't get tax reform. Small caps, IWM, sell off industrially, up, sell off huge. So it's look, if that's the real deal, then load up on puts now. If that's the kind of bill that's going to be coming to the table, because I'm telling you right now, they're not going to get 5 years, because we're not even sure if 45 is going to get another 4. So if they put in a 5-year plan, and then 45 doesn't win, whoever is replacing him, which could be, in my mind, I think they're going to run JFK. What's not JFK? What's this Kennedy guy out of Boston? That's probably their next guy. If they run him, he's not gonna go with that. He's not gonna go with that based on what I know about his family and what they believe about taxes. All right. Kennedys are very wealthy people. They believe that the wealthy should pay taxes. They got that like Warren Buffett kind of thing where, hey, I'm rich, I don't mind paying higher taxes. That's kind of their thing. Walmart stores. Walmart selling off today. I'm not sure why Walmart sold off today. I'm not. Again, I know they follow the indices, right? So if you follow the SPY, you're all up on Walmart. So very similar play. I'm not surprised on that. All right, not surprised on that. In fact, this sell-off today could, in hindsight, very much like many others, look like a buying opportunity within the next couple of days. We'll see. We will see. All right. LRTTF. Lithium, yeah, okay. So I don't know what happened to what's going on with this play. It is an OTC pump. Just be aware of that. Look, when you're playing these OTC pumps, I mean, it is what it is, man. You got to enjoy the ride while you have it, man, and keep your stops real close. keep your stops real close, because that's basically what this is. That's basically what this is, man. And you got to be very, very careful with that. All right? Be very, very careful with that. But it is an OTC pump right now that's going on. The mailers are going out almost all the time on that play. Do you guys remember, excuse me, do you guys remember the ticker ITUS, I-T-U-S? This was another pump that was from James Connolly of PennyStockEgghead.com. He ran this pump, and here's the thing, though. He was pumping this thing for like 2.5 months before the move just happened. You know, he was pumping it like over here, and all of a sudden it just, you know, took off. He's got a new pump out now. It's another NASDAQ play, interestingly enough. NYSE, excuse me, but it's CEI. CEI is his play. For those of you guys who get it, you already know. CEI, he issued an alert on it. Price target of $1 a share. That would be a huge, that would be pretty huge. And I'd give him the monster kill. Monster kill. If he gets that. If he gets that. But look, it's a long ways away from here. You did see some buying come into the play on his announcement on Friday. It came out Friday night. So we saw some buying come into the stock today. High of 18, closed at 16. So we'll be following and see what happens on CEI, but that's his play. That's the play. And it looks like they are compensating him for that. When you read the disclaimer, it looks like they are compensating him for that. They're paying him, what is that, $25,000 for this pump. And he's being paid by, I don't think it's directly from the company, but a non-affiliated third party for this marketing exposure. So on CEI. So somebody who is not associated but associated with Camber Energy is looking to get their share prices higher, and they paid somebody, you know, over 30 grand to make it happen. So we'll see if it works. We'll see if it works. LRTTF not producing anytime soon. Well, yeah. Look, it's like I just said, it's a pump, man. It's a pump. I mean, you're up huge over the last 2.5 weeks. You know, you came from, you know, barely 49 cents. You're at $1.49. So you're up almost 200% from October 1st. You know, look, just, you know, and I know you just can't stay up there forever. So, you know, in due time. What's going on, Josiah? ATOS is another one. Black scientists, bad scientists. A public offering. This is a public offering play on ATOS. He brought it up last week. Public offering play on this one. Here's another one that, you know, wasn't very popular though. It wasn't very popular. Does have decent liquidity though, but you know, not too many spikes. Not too many spikes, but another public offering where the stock moved higher. Man, would have been a great short. Look at that. Look at that. You had $1.50 on that just on the 25th. That was last week. You know, that was last week. You were looking at a stock that was $1.50. Now you're at 42 cents. So the shorts destroyed that. Destroyed that on ATOS. Yeah, that was the biggest gainer. SPCB. This was the biggest gainer on the market today. Left a lot of people high and dry. Very sketchy. You know, very sketchy morning on that. Because it just started off just really all over the place. I mean, very indecisive wicks. Look at these shadows on some of these candlesticks. It was really crazy watching this morning. I had, what's that guy's name? I had him on the show. He posted on Twitter. On Twitter that he was like, I'm out of that. Fuck that. He was out of that play. And what was that guy's name again? Let me see. Forgot his name. Madass. There you go. Madass Trader. Madass came out and he posted. He's like, oh, man, fuck that. I'm out of that. You know, because it was just all over the place. But nice gain, though. I mean, nice gain. Obviously, if you were able to catch the top or if you were able to buy into that morning run, you did very, very well on that. But looks like you kept a lot of people up there and eventually ended up selling into the close here on that one. So nice move on that. SPCB, obviously, very illiquid stock, right? Very illiquid stock. So all this volume that's in there, look, don't trust it. Don't trust it. I think you probably come down tomorrow. We've seen quite a few of these where day traders load up and they get caught holding the bag the very next day. That's how you said you got held high and dry. Yeah, man, left a lot of people up there. Left a lot of people up there on that one. All right, a few more tickers, and I guess I'll get you guys out of here. I know today was kind of one of those days where it's just another day on the exchange. But, hey, somebody made $1 million today or more. MNKD, you're looking to get to a point where one day it's you. I know that's my goal anyway, so keep swinging for the fences. MNKD, okay, here's another one too. Now you're starting to consolidate. Starting to consolidate here on the daily chart. Let's see if you can hold that, right? Let's see if you can hold that. God, not the best chart in the world, right? Because you don't really have too much support underneath you. But let's see. Last couple of days, you need a bullish candlestick tomorrow. You need a bullish candlestick tomorrow because you got a lot of air underneath you there on MNKD. Huge run. We talked a lot about this run going into October. Just couldn't hold those levels. 650s, 750s there in MNKD now selling off. Down, what, man, you're off almost $5. Almost $5 from, what was that, the 10th. So just 20 days, you've lost almost $5 a share, nearly half, almost 50%. Almost 50% to the downside on MNKD. So can a possible retest be coming on that high? Maybe. Maybe if other technical traders see what we just saw. We'll see on that. Apple, yeah, Apple's going to destroy earnings. Apple's going to destroy earnings. I have no doubt about that. You know, continued strong international sales. You're seeing guys load up into earnings. So that's kind of one of the reasons why I bought Snap. The idea is that, you know, it's either going to start loading or selling into earnings. And that's kind of what you kind of do with a lot of these earnings plays. A couple of days before you start taking a position as people decide to either start selling into it or buying into that announcement. And that's exactly what's going on with Apple right now. You got guys buying into the announcement on Apple, and they're going to do really well. They're going to do really well. It's really interesting to see how sentiment can change once, you know, clarity starts to come out. A couple weeks ago, oh my God, you know, iPhone X sales are soft. iPhone X sales are soft. Expectations are low. You know, you had guys for years wrapping around the corner. Now nobody's standing on the corner of the store. I mean, just a lot of bullshit. You know, these guys on CNBC, they're just, it's so, you know, man, it's just, I don't know. But there's nothing else to watch during the day, right? I mean, when you're talking about business news, I mean, I'm not going to watch Fox Business. I mean, you know, you put you to sleep. But, you know, just what a change in sentiment. What a change in sentiment where just, you know, a couple weeks ago, we were talking about, oh, iPhone X sales aren't going to be that. And now look where we are, $16 higher on Apple. And they're going to crush it. They're going to crush it. And I'm already seeing on some of those, I don't believe you're going to get like, you know, a $30 move or anything like that. But, you know, we're already seeing accumulation happening at the 195s. Oh, no, it's not. 180s. The 180s. That doesn't sound out of the question. 180 Apple. That does not sound out of the question. 180 Apple. That's going for $82 right now. So you guys want in on Apple? You don't even have to go that far out, man. I think the 165s that are in the money, right? The 165 calls that are going for $550. Those are great plays for you if you don't know how to play options. And just go into that. Go in the money call. $550 gives you the opportunity to play Apple earnings and make your money. It's almost a sure thing. Facebook Wednesday, that should be. PDXP getting uplisted. PDXP getting uplisted. Getting uplisted where? Is this what we're talking about? PD, this one for a penny? What are you talking about uplisted? Because when I'm hearing uplisted, I'm talking about you going from OTC to NASDAQ. Hold on, what are you talking about? I'm trying to find the news. All right, looks like you got a new CEO. PDXP. I'm not seeing where it's getting uplisted. Yeah, I'm not seeing okay, to OTCQB. Okay. All right, yeah. I mean, look, going a penny a share. Okay, yeah, because when I think uplisted, I'm thinking OTC to a major. But if it's uplisting within the OTC system, now going to OTCQB, that's good. That means now they're gonna release actual SEC filings, and we're gonna actually get a clear picture of what's going on with the company. So that's a good thing. That's always a good thing. You're seeing the stock here, guys coming in, taking some positions there on PDXP at a penny a share right now. 41 million shares floating. Okay, that's what's up. These are the kind of plays you want to be in, right? I mean, these are the kind of things where, it's a penny a share. You got $100. You drop and see what can happen here at a penny a share, right? So we'll see what happens with PDXP and as that company develops. All right. Hopefully it can hold this volume. Shaquille Iman, oil plays. WTI is always a great oil play. In fact, I think probably the most volatile out there is WTI, among others. That's actually a really good question. Before we get up out of here, let's look at some oil plays. As we have now oil at $54 a barrel. $54 a barrel, and we started to show off talking about why that is. You guys know exactly what their Saudis are trying to do, keeping oil prices higher as they go into trying to go public with their huge oil conglomerate, Aramco. Let me pull up some oil and gas plays here. And when I look at the oil and gas space, right, and we look at especially small caps, because these are the ones that are going to be benefiting the most. The traditional DNR. DNR is always a good one that you can play. I stick with the liquidity. You can't go wrong with the liquid ones. DNR, $1.16. Nice move today. Only a 0.175. Hopefully we get a stronger move on that. But this is one I watch, waiting for that 127. It could be looking for that again to try and retest that. So 127 could be likely that on that one. DNR is one that I watch very carefully. Used to be a big fan of GTE, oil and gas play. It's pretty volatile. 2.5 million shares traded today, kind of unusual for that one. So had me, glancing at it. So had a big move on Friday. Now he had another move today. So is that coming back alive to get again? Who sees? Who knows? At 217. What other plays that I know we've talked about here? Another one that's pretty volatile, small cap as well. NE. There's an oil drilling play out of the UK. One to watch. It's done some things in the past, but I gotta mark that 484 as the breakout. Are we looking to retest that? Who knows? We'll see on that one. That's one that I'm watching as well. An old friend of ours, Rig, if you guys remember. Rig is one. I think they did a reverse split. Look. I think the move was way back in August, but it is what it is. Rig, 1039 now, not the cheapest out there. You got some other. You got quite a few of them out there. That you can jump on. But again, I'll focus on the small caps because that's where you're going to get the big moves. That's where you're going to get the big moves. I think, high oil prices benefits all across the board, even the large caps. I mean, if you go to Exxon red day today, but again, if these prices hold, I think that works for them as well. So either way, you should be good if these prices hold. That's all it's about. That's really, at the end of the day, all it's about. J-Nug, yeah. Thank you for bringing up gold. I'm watching GLD. GLD intraday, this beautiful little triangle pattern it's been doing here. I don't know what's going on with that, but it's one of those moves that I've been watching GLD. In fact, let me go to a higher time frame so we can really look at it. Again, just following what the trend is doing. And tapping the highs and the lows. And now we're setting up a new trend on GLD. And I'm short bias, so I'm not going to sit and, although I should be going long with the trend, I look for trend breaks preferably, as this one would have been very, very profitable in that trend break. So I'm looking for another break, and you had to sell into the close today. So we'll see if that means the bulls come back into the game tomorrow. Does that mean gold breaks the trend, and now are we looking to break the trend and sell off? And of course, I'd definitely go heavy onto the put side on GLD if we're not seeing that turnaround in gold that we think is slowly developing here. So I mean, gold is interesting. We saw a couple gold plays run, but let's see if the move is real. And as long as it continues to hold the trends, then it is what it is. All right, but gold needs to move higher tomorrow. We're talking either, gap up or whatnot. We'll see. Who knows? And if we go to the other ETFs, JNUG. Here's JNUG. Again, as you saw, they're selling to the close. All right, so here's another one that you see again here. I'm just following the trends, and that's selling off. But again, this is the 15-minute chart, so I wouldn't, obviously just follow the daily, preferably. But you'd have to really zoom in on that one. Let's go to 30-minute. All right, so 30-minute will force you to pull that back a little bit. Oh, no, hold on. Zoom in on that. Right, just catch these bottoms, and some guys like to do it at the bottom of, I'll give them that. Oh no, I'm not a big fan of hitting the shadows, but that's fine. I know most of you do like that. So, again, this is the 30-minute. So as long as JNUG stays above that purple line going higher, then I wouldn't go on the put side of JNUG, right? So as long as you continue to go there. But if we break that purple line going higher, either down or sideways, that represents a break in the trend moving higher. And that means that wouldn't be considered a higher low. And that would be the end of the trend. So that means it could go like this and then down, or just straight down. And that would be a break in the trend. Spam news was big. New advice moving forward, please. Look, I talked a little bit about SPI. I talked about SPI. I mean, huge volume coming into the stock, but I'm nervous about why the volume isn't moving the stock. You know, I don't want to beat a dead horse on SPI, but because many guys in here have already heard what we talked about it, but it's not moving. It's not moving. You know, it's not moving, and you know, that's kind of scary. It's kind of scary, and you guys got to understand. The longer you stay at these levels, the more delist and bankruptcy risk you're at. So, you know, this has got to happen either soon, or you're going to be, sitting on some huge losses if you're not careful. South African gold stocks, yeah. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. All right, GROW. U.S. Global Investors, Investment Management. I don't know anything about this. I don't know anything about GROW. Beyond average. I don't know anything about what this company does. Investment management play. Arizona, you said reverse split announced. All right. Well, I mean, if they came out with a reverse split on SPI, that's not good, right? I mean that's not good for people who are already in it. So if you're not in it, unless you're happy with, you're losing a significant amount of exposure to the stock, then I would probably sell and get out of there. What's going on, Don Will? Don Will in the building. All right. But I'm on my way out of here, guys. Again, I understand today. Not much out there. Guys are still playing earnings. It's kind of what I'm doing, but I'm still watching the small caps. At the end of the day, we know where the money is. Options is good when there's volatility. But at the end of the day, small caps outperforms all day, every day. And, but you just haven't had these consistent moves here. Recently, either up or down. And when we look at some of these plays here, retail getting killed, companies that we're very familiar with. What is that? 1-800-Flowers becoming a penny stock today. Just this is really a change of the guard, man. Really a change of the guard. Companies that I remember growing up with that were $50, $60 a share, now, possibly will never be seen again. Will never be seen again. Barnes and Nobles selling off. Barnes and Nobles. Barnes and Nobles, that's hanging on by and that Barnes and Nobles too. I'm watching that carefully because Barnes and Nobles earnings, this could be one that is in really big trouble. Barnes and Nobles. For you guys, who short too, I'll be watching Barnes and Nobles going into earnings, because I think that could be really ugly, and that's one that nobody's really kind of talking about. That could be really, really ugly for them. Because I don't expect that they did very well. And that's just, understanding what I know about the business. All right, unless there's somebody else with a different take on that. OPTT. Let me see here. Yeah, I mean, this is at a support, or close to it anyway. It's a company that can spike out real big when it does do something. So, you're either going to be a believer a long time or not. Don Will, you said hyperinflation coming? Yeah, I got a really great interview coming up soon with the guy from Rethinking the Dollar. Rethinking the Dollar channel. And, he's got a really interesting idea about the dollar, and he believes literally it could become the end of our democracy. So this is going to be a really interesting interview, guys. I'm going to try and set up for Wednesday night. And I really want you guys to be in here when this guy's in here, because he's talking like this could be, going to gold now. I mean, he's one of those kind of guys. So it's going to be really interesting to get his opinion. I'm just going to let him speak, ask questions, let you guys ask questions, and get his take on that. And I like hearing, different sides. I like hearing the guys who think, this is going to keep running, and we live in the society we live in. Fiat currency is what it is, and it's just going to continue to sell off and lose value, and we're just going to deal with it. Or you have other guys who think, it could be a zero-sum game where one day, we wake up and we all have this worthless money called the U.S. dollar. So it's going to be interesting to see. How did ANGI get to ANGI? Well, yeah, I mean, they came out, and it was the merger. Yeah, they came out as Angie's List and another company. The other company was loaded in cash. Remember, Angie's List was losing their ass. They were losing money. They were cutting back. They were cutting back marketing and playing with the numbers, and that's the only way they were able to beat their last earnings report, is that they cut marketing back like 50%. So they were able to show that they had a decent quarter, but people didn't realize that they cut earnings, they cut marketing back 50%. That's why for, years you saw Angie's List commercials like practically every day, and then all of a sudden 2016 they just kind of disappeared, although Angie's List was still there. But yeah, Angie's List still trading. Angie's Home Services is in the ticker now. Two different companies. Pretty illiquid now. But this is just another business where they'll end up going to zero, because there are other technology platforms that are crushing them, and people love the idea of reading reviews, but there's services where they're going to be able to give it to you for free of charge. And I think at the end of the day, free beats free, especially high quality free beats paid all day, every day. People are going to take the free thing. All right. Shaquille said getting rid of that fiat can turn the world upside down. Well, we're going to talk all about that. It's going to be a really interesting show. I'm going to put that together for Wednesday. So I'm going to be looking forward to that. Then his channel is Rethinking the Dollar. Pretty interesting channel. Retail is a major turn in history. Yeah, absolutely. Retail, it's game over for retail. Retail has, is changing, will change. What's the retail ETF? What's the Spider Retail? What's the Spider Retail ETF? XRT, I think it is. Yeah. Okay, here's XRT. Here's one that I'm watching too. Let's go in the weekly, because that's pretty much the only way to see it. All right, so here's the weekly. You can look at the daily too, but it look like we're trying to fight to possibly go down and retest the support there at 38.06. We're at 39.48 now. It doesn't have the greatest liquidity in the world, and I think let me see, the options aren't super liquid either. Yeah, they're not crazy liquid. You got some decent open interest, but not necessarily daily volume. So it's kind of one of those kind of buy and see kind of options, not necessarily something you get in and out every day that you get in like the Qs or SPY. But yeah, man, I mean, the changing face of retail is real. The changing face of retail is real. Look, people don't want to go out anymore. People are irritated by other people. I've noticed people are irritated by other people. You go into Walmart and everybody's just like, get away from me, and it's just people are irritated by other people. We live in a society where everything is on our terms. Even when I get a call that's unexpected, and I see that happen to other people, people get irritated. Like, who the hell's calling me? Like, why are you calling me for? You know what I mean? Because, again, we're used to things happening on our term. We watch TV on our term. We go on the internet on our term. We watch our shows and sports and all that stuff on our terms. So even being in a place where you're not expecting to deal with people and all that, or you don't want to deal with people, that's becoming a reality. We're literally moving into a society where you're not gonna leave your house. You're not gonna leave your house, because you're not gonna even want to leave your house. You got people who just don't want to. If they could stay home all day, every day, they would do it. They would do it. Oh yeah, price checks. I remember going to Walmart asking for a cologne. I was literally waiting at the cologne thing for like 5 minutes while somebody went and grabbed the key for the cologne. And I'm thinking like, man, I could have killed this on my Amazon app in 2 minutes. And I'm waiting at the cologne counter for like 5 minutes for somebody to get a fucking key. And they all hate their jobs, right? They all hate their jobs, and I don't blame them. I mean, you're on your feet 9 hours a day. You're getting paid practically minimum wage. Nobody grows up to want to have that as something you want to, have to call as your job. I get it. I don't even blame them for their horrible customer service. I mean, nobody wants that job. It's quite depressing. It's quite depressing. I've done retail before. I mean, first day, second day, your back is fucking hurting. Your spine is fucking. I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, shit, I got more chances to sit down in the military than this. I don't even get a chance to sit down. I mean, my breaks are like 20 minutes and 30, breaks are not even, it's like 10-minute breaks. Well, what the fuck is this? I was treated better in the military than I am in society. I'm risking my life in the military, and I get treated better doing that. So it's crazy shit. Retail is just, it's horrible. Yeah, Walmart did announce today that they got the robots. By the way, check that article out, man. They got robots coming to work at Walmart. They're saying it's not going to take jobs, but it will take jobs. That kind of goes back to what Bill Gates and Elon Musk was talking about, that how, we're going to all end up going on some kind of government payroll thing where they're just going to have to pay us to survive, because there's just going to be no jobs left for people who don't have any skills to deal with, robotics. Look at even all you guys who are into coding and all that stuff. 5 years ago, 10 years ago, guys who were going into coding were making a killing. And for the most part, they still do make good, a lot of money. But what you're seeing is a lot of these companies, they're creating all these products and services to help teach people how to code. Not because they need more coders, because they want to dilute the market. They want to create an environment where you got low-skilled, waged coders. That's basically what they want to do. That's why they're telling everybody, hey, get into coding, and black girls code and black boys code and all that. They just want to create a legion of low, average skilled coders so they can bring those prices down. So, at the end of the day, it's all about companies trying to do what they have to do to make as much on as little expenses as possible. And that's what's driving all of this innovation. That's what's driving all of this innovation. And, as someone like yourself who trades stocks, that's basically, unfortunately, what we are trying to make money on. We're trying to literally make money on the erosion of middle-class society, right? On the erosion of the opportunity to go from, a lower class into the middle class. Sadly, I feel that way sometimes when I go into some of these trades, man. Like, for example, trying to, play Apple and all these, and we know that Apple's out here trying to create the Apple car and Tesla and all these. They're trying to get rid of jobs at the end of the day. They're trying to get rid of jobs at the end of the day. That's realistic. Universal basic income. Yes, pro-woman, absolutely. A universal basic income. You know, how does the world look like, you know, when people are receiving a universal basic income? You know, how do we decide who gets more and who gets less? You know, these are really tough questions that, you know, that are going to have to be answered. And it could be very well our lifetime. It could be very well our lifetime. You know, I would not be surprised, God willing, when I'm, you know, in my 70s, 40 years from now, that we're talking about a world where, you know, everybody's got to get a check for something because there are no jobs out here for people. You know? Don Will says, "Get off the matrix." Well, it won't even be a matrix. I mean, you won't have to go to work. There'll be no work for you to go to. You know, there'll be no work for you to go to. Obviously, you're always going to have your barbers. You're going to have your beauty consultants. You're going to have your creative class, right? Artists aren't going away. Rappers aren't going away. Singers, musicians. I mean, those people aren't going away. Poets. You know, all the creative classes aren't going away. But, you know, guys who, you know, where I grew up in Detroit, where you're being paid $18, $19 an hour to screw bolts in the Ford Escort, that's not going to happen. You know, it's not going to happen. Because those will go away. You know, those will go away. And what does reality look like for them? Yusuf says the rich get richer, poor get poorer. Yeah, I mean, you know, but that's why Bitcoin. That's why we have Bitcoin, though. I mean, I'm sideways on Bitcoin, but you know, the reason why Bitcoin is running is because you do have a certain group of people who just feel like they're fucked, and they're like, okay, this is the new thing, and we're jumping on it now, and we don't care what you think about it and what you think it's going to be and all that, but this is our new currency. This is the new thing. And they have created a community who has created this asset class. And the banking elite, and they've been left out, and they don't know what to do. They do not know what to do. They don't know even what to think about this thing called Bitcoin. They're so behind. And they're looking, and you know, they're not saying it now because they want to cause a civil war in this country, but they will try to, you know, destroy Bitcoin because they want in on at some lower prices. And you know, they're gonna do that. They're gonna do that. Bitcoin is here to stay as a technology. If Bitcoin as a currency remains, it's gonna drop, and they're gonna get in. And because that's just what they do. It's what they do. All right. China today ended. No, that was this past week, Friday, I believe. China ended their council. If you guys don't know, the Chinese government, they do like little council of leaders. Please don't believe this crock of shit about China being a communist country. China has not been a communist country since the 1980s. You got a lot, since the late 1970s, honestly. You got a lot of people in America, in business and politics, who want to sell you on the idea of China being a communist country. China is not a communist country. Those of you guys who live on the West Coast in Florida, New York, those real estate booms you guys are going through, those are being fueled by Chinese investors, many of them who grew up poorer than you. China has an incredible entrepreneurship system and you know what they're going through over there, but it is a bubble that is slowly seems to be showing some cracks. And you can go to zerohedge.com and read some of those articles on China, and you can just Google China bubble. That's what's going on, because we're seeing a slowdown in real estate buying in China. So, yeah, but don't believe the whole idea of China being a communist country and all that crock of shit. China actually has like 9 political parties within the framework of called the Chinese Communist Party. It's not one thing. It's like it's like 9 individual parties where you have like the Maoists who are like, yeah, let's go back to the Chairman Mao days, and then you have these people who were like responsible for like the whole like let's keep Hong Kong the way it is, and so you have different factions, within what's going on in China, and the West is still trying to brainwash you with the idea like, yeah, these people are communist and evil, and China is come on, just what a load of shit. That's a load of shit. These people are ultra capitalist. They come here with the specific reason, like I'm coming here to do business, I'm coming here to sell, I'm coming here to conquer, while you're looking at them as all these poor Chinese people coming here for opportunity. Fuck that. These people are coming here to destroy you, okay, and to take as much from you as possible. And that's not, I'm not saying it in a bad way. I'm just saying they're here to compete. And we got people out here manipulating your mind, thinking they're coming here for economic salvation, in terms of like, because they can't get it at home. They can get it at home. They just feel like they can do it better here. All right, they can do it better here. All right, yeah. Don't let one of these Chinese people pull up on you in a Bentley, because they getting it, man. They are getting it. The Chinese government has created an environment that, I said, it's even in their it's not called the Constitution, but something like it, where every Chinese child deserved a first-class education. That's their goal. Now, obviously, people out in the countryside and all that, China's huge, right? So, not everybody's getting it. But they are trying to create a society where every Chinese person literally is like, has everything and all the tools necessary they need to be a productive citizen, wherever it is in the world they are. And China will have their back. You got Chinese going all over the world, and they're basically saying, go out there, and us, the nation of China, will have your back. They will have your back. All right, so anything else anybody wants to discuss about the markets moving forward, anything? Before I close up, 305-600-2896. Any interesting news to look up before we close out? I'll be back tomorrow. We'll be on tomorrow. Hopefully Twitter continues to sell off. If not, then, I'm going to just have to take my L and move on. I mean, you can't win them all. Buffalo Wild Wings was another one of them. Thankfully, Buffalo Wild Wings, that's, in the money at the 120, so I'm not worried too much about that. But that was giving me a heart attack for a second there on Buffalo Wild Wings. But thankfully, that's back to the 120s here. All right, but other than that, anything else? AMD, yeah, we talked to AMD. AMD, it's the third time I'm bringing it up. AMD selling off here. Just try to catch it. You got the 990s underneath you on AMD. All right. Look at these 990s. Let's see if we test, AMD support there from May. But not doing so well. You got downgraded today on AMD. You're oversold, but AMD's got some real structural problems. They got some real structural problems. The processors on the gaming side aren't selling. Bitcoin market isn't as big as what people expected it to be. They got some real issues here. So it is what it is. All right. Bad Scientist with some after hours news. I see that. How do I set up my options? I only play spreads on options. So I take 2 trades up and down. I load up more on the side that I think is going to go. So I only play spreads on that. Iron condors, butterflies, I haven't gotten into all that yet. I'm still relatively new on trading options. But right now I'm playing spreads just because it's just so much, or straddles, I think that's what they're called. Just because it's just so much easier to do it that way, where I got upside protection, downside gains if it goes my way. But I don't lose my ass, right? I just don't completely lose my ass on trades. And I like that. I like the fact that you don't, in options, you don't really, even when you lose, it's not really a loss, because you can buy the protection. For example, I showed you guys my Twitter or my Snap position, and I'll show that real quick before I get out of here. And you know, my Snap option, where you know my protection is tripled in value, man, and it's going the wrong way. It's absolutely going the wrong way right now, and I'm cool with it because it's making me money. I mean, it's making me money. Let me see here. Right? Where is that? Thought I saved it. Here it is, right here. So here's my Snap, where I got the 160 calls, and that's like $700. 160 puts of the, because I'm thinking again, right? I got all to the downside. That's where most of my risk is. But I'm hedging, you know, all that downside expectation with an upside call, which is that November 17th, $21 call in the middle there. That's gives me an 80. So if Snap comes out and it's like, surprise, we killed it, I still win big. I still win big. And that $80 call, that 80 contracts, it cost me like less than like $1,500. I think it was like $1,100. You know, so 30,000 to the upside. Again, these are the extremes, right? If we move $10 up or down, which is the expectation, 30,000 to the upside, possibly as high as 60,000 to the downside if I'm right. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. You know, and if it's just a $5 move, I think it's like, you know, take 6,000 or 7,000 off that. All right. And some could say I got in a little bit early, but yeah, it is what it is. I'm cool on it. With that being said, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and ring the bell. I will be back here tomorrow. I will be back tomorrow. Oh nope, that's not the one I want to play. Let me ring the bell. I will be back here tomorrow. God, I don't know why there he goes. Go ahead and click subscribe. This is your first time. Yes, indeed. Press like on this video right now if you can, please. Press like on this video again if this is your first time here. If you learned something today, if you appreciate the show, press like as always. Thank you, guys. I will be back here tomorrow again. We're just following the market, you know, gaining knowledge. That's how you do it, right? You know, it's all... knowledge is all cumulative. You know, as long as you pursue it, the better you get. Surround yourself with like-minded people, and you get better at this. And then, you know, look, I've talked about the long ball thing and going along with this because, you know, imagine how good you are now, but how good you can be, you know, 5 years from now, a year from now. You know, I'm thinking about how I'm so much better than I was a year ago, you know, 2 years ago. So much more knowledgeable about this. I can't wait, you know, to how I'm explaining things a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years from now. You know, I'm excited about my future, and that's thanks to what we're pursuing here. You know, Wall Street is a mentality. It's not necessarily just a place. I mean, it's just a couple buildings at the place, but it's truly a mentality in America that you can teach yourself to have, and you know, using finance to create opportunities while everybody else is trading dollars for hours. You can find a niche within this space to be able to create, you know, money or wealth for yourself out of thin air, you know, out of knowledge, you know, literally out of knowledge, by embracing a mentality that says that this is possible, this is real, and this is doable. And there are a lot of people, ladies and gentlemen, who are, you know, second, third generation living off that mentality, you know, because grandpa had that mentality, dad had that mentality, and you know, if you weren't in a position to be able to do that, you know, maybe you can create a future for your child or your grandchild to where they can, you know, finally have a life where they can enjoy it, right? They can go out and live, you know, a life that's really about experiences. Really about experiences. You know, I was reading an article where it talked about how, you know, parents today are spending less time with their kids than they did in the 1970s and 60s. You know, it's almost like 40% less. And the guy in the article was talking about how, you know, when he was growing up, he saw his mom every day after school. My mom was home, and, you know, his dad didn't work that much, and dad wasn't stressed out as much, and dad was kind of always there and had more money, and mom and dad just seemed to enjoy the kids more, them more, and their life more. And, you know, we're living now in society where, you know, parents barely see their kids. You know, they're working, they're stressed out about their kids' futures and their possibilities, about, you know, living situations. It's crazy, man. It's a crazy, crazy world we live in. And the people who've been able to manage it the most are people who understand and, you know, how to follow money, how to follow, you know, these trends and what's going on with finance on a global scale, you know. So, all right, guys, appreciate it. Happy trading tomorrow. I will see you guys back here again, same time, same place. I'm gonna try to come earlier so I get you guys out of here, but always by 11:30 the least. We're going to get you guys out of here. All right. So, again, thank you so much. Cool Cats. Jeff Thayer. Cool Cats say buy some BVTK. We'll be looking at it, man. We'll be looking at it. It's like the only OTC. Well, damn. All right. Yeah, well, that's a dip buy. That's a dip buy. We had some support here, so could be a dip buy here. Jeff the Marine Thayer, appreciate it. Ann Bullard, good night. No place like New York City, thank you. Shaquille Iman, Stock Boy, Michael B, appreciate it, man. Jeff Thayer, Don Will, all my callers today, Yusuf L, everybody who's still watching, Bat Scientist, appreciate it. Thank you, Legendary H, appreciate the donation, brother, as always. Thank you so much. George, appreciate it. Can't wait to see you guys back here tomorrow, guys. Happy trading. Secure the bag. Take care.